Hari Om students, welcome to online teaching. Second lesson, the sound of music. In part 1, we discussed about Evelyn Glennie, and in this topic we come to know how she overcome her disability and how she identified his strength and how she identified her weakness and how she overcome all the situation, what are the struggles she made and who was the main person in her life, and everything we discussed means in from orchestra to solo performances. From first she was participated in orchestra and she went to tour in USA. Finally she award she received many awards. Though she was not able to hear the title itself, listen to music, the title itself very innovating, means which makes us to think about that, which makes us to inspire more, which makes us to motivate ourselves, how she faced all the situation, how she overcome everything we learned, and how she received higher position with the help of Ron Forbes. And finally she was one of the great percussionists in the world who are able to play nearly thousands of musical instruments, isn't it? So in first part we discussed about this great musician. Coming to the second part, we'll come to know about a different musician, that is none other than the Shahna of Bismillah Khan. So the Shahna of the part 2 discuss about the Shahna of Bismillah Khan. So his full name was Ustad Bismillah Khan. In this chapter, we know how the how the Shahnai came into existence, how the name the Shahnai came into the existence, what is his role, Ustad Bismillah Khan's role to exhibit the musical instrument Shahnai. All these things we come to know in this lesson. Let us go through the lesson. Think of the Shahnai, and the first thing you'll probably imagine is a wedding or a similar occasion or function. The next would probably be Ustad Bismillah Khan, the Shahnai maestro, playing this instrument. So Ustad Bismillah Khan was very familiar and known as Shahnai maestro. So when we think about Shahnai, see, this is Shahnai. In Telugu we'll call it as Sannai, isn't it? Are you able to remember and recall when you people went to any marriage function or any devotional functions in temple, you'll observe this musical instrument, isn't it? So this was very familiar in many functions, in many occasions. And next, when we think about this musical instrument Shahnai, of course we are probably used to know about this Shahnai master Ustad Bismillah Khan. Observe this picture, children. He is Ustad Bismillah Khan. Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. Pungi became the generic name for reed noisemakers. Few had thought it would one day be revived. See here, the meaning of generic name means a name given to a class or group as a whole. Reed means wind instruments which have reeds like the flute, the clarinet, etc. So, how here the writer was explaining how this Shahnai came into the existence. You may come to one doubt that ma'am said that we are discussing about Shahnai. What is this pungi in that way? See how Shahnai came from pungi. All this we'll discuss now. Pungi means this is the instrument. Many of you observe this instrument in the hands of snake charmers, isn't it, ma? Yes, your guess was correct. This is pungi. So Emperor Aurangzeb, so he is Emperor Aurangzeb. He banned playing of a musical instrument called pungi. So Emperor banned this musical instrument called pungi because it was giving a very unpleasant sound. When you come to know about this sound, when you hear this sound, it was really very disturbing. It was means some musical instruments, when we listen some musical instrument, it will give us different types of soothing for our heart and brain, isn't it? When we listen flute means it is somehow melody. When we listen drum sounds means we'll get that josh. Yes or no, ma? In the same manner, pungi gives an unpleasant sound. So that's why Emperor Aurangzeb, he banned this musical instrument. Pungi became the generic name. Generic name means a name given to a class or group as a whole. So it is a generic name for the group of musical instrument. Will give one generic name. So pungi is also one of the generic name. For reeded noisemakers means music instruments which we use wind, like flute, clarinet, all these comes under wind instruments. So really it was going to be banned. Which instrument? Pungi was going to be banned. But few of the musicians, they thought that it would be one day, it would be revived, means one day it would be come with a different existence. One day it is going to be familiar with some similar, some smaller changes. In that way, some of them, they thought in that way. But finally Emperor Aurangzeb decided that he want to ban this playing pungi. Why he thought in that way? Because this pungi was giving very unpleasant sound. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was no longer broader than pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft melodious sounds were produced. Yes, observe here, a barber of a family of professional musicians. Actually, when you observe our weddings and everything, the people who come to our homes and who play all the shanai, they were barbers. Try to identify, try to remember, ma. Try to recall. Yes, they were barbers. They belongs to barber family. So in the same manner, in olden days, when Aurangzeb thought he want to ban pungi, some of the professional musicians, they came to the royal palace and they want to decided that they want to make a tonal quality. They want to make some changes, means some changes in the making of this musical instrument, and they want to give some soothing, some melodious sounds. So that's why what they done, they choose a pipe. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem. This is pipe, think that this is pipe, but broader than pungi here, it used to be circle shape in different shape, but here they were took this as a border than pungi, and they mentioned 7 holes. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, this instrument have 7 holes on the body of the pipe. So how they will play? In the 7 holes, they used to place the fingers. In the 7 holes, they used to, we have 10 fingers, right? So they used to place only 7 fingers, and they used to open some of the finger. I mean, if they open means the holes will be open. If they close means the holes will be closed. Continuously opening, and in this way they will keep continuously opening and closing the holes of this pipe. It gives a melodious sound. So finally they found this musical instrument. Who found? A barber family. They are professional musicians. By doing some changes in pungi, tricking the natural hollow stem was not longer and broader than pungi. They made 7 holes. When they made 7 holes with the fingers, they used the fingers opening and closing, some soothing and melodious and soft sounds were produced. So finally they invented Shahnai. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. So finally, they done background work. They changed the instrument. They practiced how the instrument have to be played and everything. Finally, they came to the royalty. Royalty means this is a royal palace. They came there and they played. Everyone was really impressed. Why? Because until now they were really hesitated by listening shrill and unpleasant sound of pungi, but after doing some changes in that pungi, making melodious and soft sounds makes everyone happy. So that's why all of the members in the royal palace, they were impressed. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to be given in a new name. Yes, finally they want to decide a name. Until now they didn't decide. Yes or no? So this is the origin of Shahnai. Until now they didn't decide. So we are discussing the origin, how the Shahnai emerges. So from the pungi which was giving unpleasant sound, the barbers belongs to a musical professional musicians. They invented this Shahnai. So finally they didn't give a particular name for the musical instrument, but they done some changes for that. So now they want to keep a good name for that musical instrument. How the name existed, let us see. As the story goes, since it was first played in Shah's chamber, as we discussed, royal palace, that is Shah's chamber, the first time the musical instrument was played and was played by Nai. Nai means barber. Nai means barber. So the instrument was named the Shahnai. Are you able to understand, ma? How the name emerges? Shah, Shah, first one Shah, Nai. Nai means barber. Shahnai. In this way, the name emerges. Shah, Nai. Understood? In Telugu, we call it as Sannai. The Shahnai became Sannai. The sound of the Shahnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. Auspicious means promising to bring good fortune. Indispensable means without which a piece of work cannot be done. Means the sound of the Shahnai began to be considered auspicious. Really, pungi gives really an unpleasant sound. So many of them treated it as a very bad omen, and they used to ban that. But the melodious and the soft and soothing sounds which was coming from Shahnai makes and considered it as an auspicious thing. So, and for this reason it is still played in temples. In temples also, observe this picture ma, in temples also, along with the drums and everything, Shahnai also one of the musical instrument. And finally it is an indispensable. Indispensable means without which a piece of work cannot be done, component of any North Indian wedding. Without which a piece of work cannot be done means it was really plays a more and more important role in North Indian wedding. Without Shahnai, there is no wedding. Without the musical instrument called Shahnai, there is no orchestra. So in this way, it became very familiar and it is to be considered as very auspicious in each and every occasion, especially in North Indian wedding. In the past, the Shahnai was part of the Naubat or a traditional ensemble. Ensemble means it should be pronounced as ensemble. Things here instruments considered as a group of 9 instruments founded royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Yes, See, in the past, Shahnai was part of Naubat. Naubat means a traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. So, in royal courts, what they will do in past days, what they will do, they will have particular musical instrument. They will have particular musicians, professional musicians. So, they used to play only some of the musical instrument. With that, the kings they will get refreshed, or they will get some pleasantness in that way. So only 9 instrument used to be there. Norbert means 9 instrument used to be found in at royal courts. Recently, Shahnai was only used in weddings and temples, but when it enters in the stages, when the Shahnai playing Shahnai enters in different stages, classical stage or in royal courts, means only with the credit all goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. So he is Ustad Bismillah Khan. This is Naubach. So in the royal court they used to have only 9 instruments. This is they used to prefer only 9 instruments. That only musical, these 9 musical instruments used to get some pleasantness and some soothingness for them. But up to now, Shahna is completely played only in temples and in North Indian weddings. It was not introduced on any classical stage. Who introduced this? Whose goes the credit for this? Means Ustad Bismillah Khan. So he was the one and only person who takes this credit that bringing this instrument onto the classical stage. Now we are entering into the flashback, means a childhood of Bismillah Khan, when he was born, who was his ancestors, which made him to learn Shanai. All these things will come to know. As a 5-year-old boy, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda. Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumaron in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita. See, as a 5 years old boy, everyone will play, right? They have their favorite plays, their favorite games, and they will play with their neighbors or friends, whoever it may be. For Bismillah Khan also have one of the favorite game, that is Gilli Danda. Observe here, this is Gilli Danda. In Telugu we'll call it as Billam Kodi, something like that. One long stick will be there, small stick, they have to hit the small stick in that way. So he used to go to near to the pond which was there in Bihar, Dumaron. It is the place of Dumaron in Bihar. So he used to play, and he used to regularly go to Bihariji temple. This is Bihariji, this is the temple, Bihariji temple. There he will go and sing Bhojpuri Chaita. Bhojpuri Chaita, in the sense, it is one of the singing orchestra, belongs to some particular people. So at the age of 5 years old, what is his regular thing? He will play Gilli Danda near to Dumron, and he will go to the temple, Bihariji temple, and there he will go to sing Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. When he went to sing Bhojpuri Chaita, the first prize, the first award which was got by him was laddu. See, the delicious laddu he got as a prize, 1.25 kgs, which was awarded by Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago, and the little boy has traveled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, that is Bharat Ratna. Observe here, as a 5-year-old boy, when he started singing in Bhojpuri Chaita, he got the first prize, that is Laddu of 1.25 kgs. And now, where he was at the 8 years, this all happened 8 years before, and finally he received. How far he traveled means that receiving highest civilian award, that is Bharat Ratna. You can observe this picture while when he was receiving Bharat Ratna. So this is his journey. So finally, from Laddu to Bharat Ratna, though the starting was very delicious, by receiving laddu from the local Maharaja to receiving Bharat Ratna, the best highest civilian award. See his journey. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather, Rasul Baks Khan, was the Shahnai Awaz of the Bhojpur King's Court. His father, Paigambar Baks, and other paternal ancestors were also great Shahnai players. So you can observe this picture, Ustad Bismillah Khan with his father. See, he was born on Ustad Bismillah Khan was born on March 21st, 1916, and he belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. As we discussed earlier, he belongs to Bihar. So his grandfather Rasul Bak Khan, he was one of the Shahnai Awards of Bhojpur King's Court. King's Court means this is King's Court. As we discussed earlier, we have different musician in King's Court to get some pleasantness, to get relaxed. They used to make the musician to play some musical instrument. So Bismillah Khan fathers and paternal ancestors. Paternal ancestors means ancestors of the mothers. In the same way, maternal ancestors will be there, means ancestors of the mother. So all the paternal ancestors of Ustad Bismillah Khan, they were also great Shahnai players who used to play in Bhojpur King's Court. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Benares, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shahnai. Soon, Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Bugs. What is the name of his uncle? Ali Bugs. To the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Bugs was employed to play the Shahnai. Yes, in previous we discussed their paternal ancestors were a great Shahnai players. In the same manner, when the young boy took to music early in life at the age of 3, very young age means at the age of 3 itself, his mother, Ustad Bismillah Khan's mother, took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras. Banaras means now it is called as Varanasi. They were staying in Bihar. His mother make him to go to his maternal uncle's house, which was there in Varanasi. So Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shahnai. Not only the paternal ancestors, but also Bismillah Khan's maternal ancestors, maternal people, they were also interested to play Shahnai. So he was very fascinated every day. His uncle, what is the name of his uncle? Ali Bugs. So every day his uncle Ali Bugs used to go to Vishnu temple. This is Vishnu temple. You can observe the picture of Varanasi here. You are very familiar with this place, that is Varanasi. So Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Bugs was employed to play the Shahnai. So before they want to exhibit, Ali Bugs was one of the employee to play the Shahnai. So before going to play in the temple, they used to get some practice, right? So when he was practicing, Ustad Bismillah Khan was really fascinated and watching in that way how beautiful he was playing, how beautiful it was, how dedicating it was. In that way, he used to observe it, which is at the very young age, that is at the age of 3 itself. So he used to observe his uncle every day. He used to go to along with his uncle. He used to accompany him, and he used to observe how he was playing, how he was practicing, and everything. So this is about the first part about Ustad Bismillah Khan. I hope you understood. Here we discussed how the Shahnai came into the existence, from which musical instrument Shahnai came. Means from the Pungi, the Shahnai came. One of the Barbers family, they done some changes in Pungi. Why they done some changes in Pungi? Because Aurangzeb have to ban that musical instrument because it was giving some unpleasant sound. So one of the Barber's family, they were professional musicians. They used to invent a new musical instrument, that is they used that they took almost not border and not broader than pungi. They kept seven holes when they used to open and close the seven fingers. Some pleasant and soothing sound comes. So this was pleased by, appreciated by all the people in the royal court. Finally, it was successful instrument which was invented by Baba's family. So the name, how the name comes means, it was played first. It was played in Shah's royal court, Sham, and it was played by Barber. Barber we can call it as Nai. Shah Nai. In that way, the name came into the existence. And how the Bismillah Khan, up to now, Shahnai was, when before Bismillah Khan, Shahnai was only for weddings and in temples, but it was become one of the most indispensable instrument. Without that instrument, there is no North Indian wedding, there is no temple occasion. In that way, that auspicious instrument, it became that auspicious instrument. But after Bismillah Khan enters into the field, he bring that musical instrument onto the classical stage. How he acquired that knowledge, what is his paternal ancestors, what about his maternal ancestors, through how he belonged, means through Alibags, when his mother, Ustad Bismillah Khan mothers, make him to go to Varanasi, that is Benares, now Varanasi it is, to his maternal uncle's house. When Alibags, one of the maternal uncle Alibags, used to play practice Shahnai, where he was one of the player, one of the employee in the Vishnu temple. Every day he used to go for practice. Who? Ali Baksa. So Ustad Bismillah Khan observes his practice, observes his dedication. So in that way he got the interest. I hope you understood. Next part we come to know what are the awards which was gained by Ustad Bismillah Khan. What is his remaining life journey? Until now we discussed the childhood days, how he got the inspiration, how the Shahnai was existed. In that way, in the second part we'll discuss what are the awards he got, what is his life journey, how many national awards he got, in how he was very familiar, one incident which makes the person familiar, right? What is that incident, when it made, and what makes him to achieve more and more awards? All these things we discuss in part 2. Hari Om.